Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Grip. Coming up on the News 10 Early Edition in the next half hour, a new twist in the Mount Vernon boycott.
Some new developments tonight on the Mount Vernon boycott. I'm Alan Green. I'll have details coming up in the news.
Time-sharing at the Shores Condominiums. A Baldwin County judge gives the go-ahead today. I'm Michelle Meredith, and I'll have that story tonight on the news.
Is soup good food? Not for everyone. I'm Dave Straker with a 10 on your side report tonight on the news. Bill Evans will have our cooler weekend weather forecast, and in sports, Ron Golnick and Eric Clemens will fill us in on local high school football games tonight. Those stories and more in the next half hour. Stay with us.
TV10 Mobile.
Tonight.
And now, the News 10 Early Edition with Bob Grip.
Good evening, everyone. An apparent FBI sting operation in Mount Vernon today led to the arrest of a Southern Christian Leadership Conference official and his brother. They're charged with attempted extortion in connection with a black boycott there. Alan Green reports.
Federal agents brought Kazmira Mani into Mobile City Jail this morning. He says the charges against him are political.
Kazmira, what are these charges all about?
Trumped up charges. It's not just against me, it's a conspiracy going against black leaders throughout America.
Mani, formerly known as Glen Diamond, is charged, along with his brother Jabbar Diamond, with violation of the Hobbs Act. They're accused of offering to call off a black boycott of Mount Vernon businesses in exchange for money. They allegedly asked $5,000 to $10,000 from each business. Mani was released today on $15,000 bond, his brother without bond but with conditions. Mani has been heavily involved in the Mount Vernon boycott but was not an organizer. It was called by residents of Shepherd's Lake in an attempt to have their area annexed by Mount Vernon. Today, there's no sign of picketers or of any boycott by blacks. Town leaders say it's died out in the last month. Picketers were last seen 4 weeks ago. Whether the boycott has died on its own or was influenced by Mani is uncertain. Merchants here tell me they were never directly approached by Mani with an offer to end the boycott. They say for the last several months, undercover FBI agents have been dealing with the boycotters on their behalf. They say any offer would have been made directly to those undercover agents. In Mount Vernon, I'm Alan Green, News 10.
Who is Glen Diamond? He spent most of his young adult life behind bars, and lately John Robb says Diamond has been a highly visible civil rights activist.
The last time we saw Glen Diamond, he had changed his name to Kazmira Mani. He was on State Representative Mike Box's doorstep demanding a meeting about Mount Vernon's voting dispute. 8 years earlier, Diamond was the victim of a mock lynching. 8 white Mobile police officers stopped Diamond, put a noose around his neck, and threw the rope's other end over a tree limb.
And Officer Patch began to pull the rope and pull it to the extent where he choked me enough to pull me up to my toe, the tip of my toe.
City commissioners called it a sick prank. They suspended 7 officers and fired the 8th, Officer Michael Patrick. He was later found innocent of assault. Diamond was awarded $41,000 out of court.
Public outrage about the mock lynching prompted city commissioners to form the Internal Affairs Division so police could watch over their own. In 1976, many people were calling Glen Diamond a hero. John Robb, News 10.
More charges tonight against a man accused of sexually abusing children. 71-year-old Ernest Langham of Silver Hill was accused today of raping a young girl. When lawmen arrested him last month, they confiscated pornographic movies and magazines. Investigator says Langham allegedly lured girls into his home by offering to paint their picture or photograph them. The Baldwin County DA's office says it has pictures of about 25 unidentified children. And if any parents believe their child may be one of them, contact the Sheriff's Department or the DA's office. 2 Houston men convicted of illegally manufacturing drugs in 8 Mile were sentenced in federal court today. Vint Chapman faces 5 years in prison, while Robert Gomillion received a 5-year combination of jail and probation. The 2 men, along with 5 others, were found guilty of making methamphetamine or speed in a motorhome. A Mobile man, Tony Miller, received an 8-year sentence for the crime last month. From our follow-up file tonight, Mobile police and the FBI are still trying to find the man who robbed a downtown bank yesterday afternoon. The suspect, described as a white man about 6 feet tall, weighing about 150 pounds, entered the Central Bank at the corner of Dauphin and Royal Streets about 5:30 last night and threatened to blow up the bank if anybody tried to call the police. Nobody did. The man got away with an undisclosed amount of money. He is still on the loose. Time-sharing at the Shores Condominium project in Gulf Shores. Is it a good idea or a good idea gone bad? Today, a Baldwin County judge decided to let the complex stay in business. Baldwin County reporter Michelle Meredith has more.
It's quiet at the Shores condominiums today. No construction, no crews. It all came to a grinding halt, frozen by the courts. It's in the courts because the State Real Estate Commission has filed suit against the folks running the show here, the Hollingers. They accuse them of bad money management, of making promises they couldn't keep, and of collecting so much personal money off of fees and commissions that there isn't enough money to finish the project. Back in court today, Francis and Sherrod Hollinger waited for the ice to melt. Attorneys for both sides huddled in the judges' chambers. 3 hours later, the judge announced his decision. Some parts of the Time-Sharing Act had been violated, but as long as a court-appointed monitor keeps tabs on them, the Hollingers can stay in business and hopefully finish the condos. Sherrod Hollinger left happy.
We feel that we're back in business.
Frank Strickler paid $8,000 in cash for his condo. If his gets built, he'll be happy.
If it gets straightened out and they can go ahead and finish it, well, I suppose I'll get my time over there like I should.
Still to come for the Hollingers, a $5 million class action suit filed against them today. Reporting from Baldwin County, Michelle Meredith, News 10.
And the Shores still faces another legal fight. This one charges the company with refusing to sell condos to blacks. Hollinger says the charge is not true. Just when you thought all the election returns were in, county officials have started to count more ballots from the November 6th election. These absentee ballots came from overseas. 86 ballots came into the county courthouse in Mobile. They had to be notarized and witnessed before they were counted. We'll have the results from the county tonight on Nightcast. Coming up next, Dave Straker joins us to blast apart the claim that soup is good food. Campbell's is having some advertising problems. And the Navy site selection team for the home port group moves through Texas. We'll have that story when we come back. You may have heard the advertising slogan, soup is good food. Well, 10 on your side reporter Dave Straker is here tonight to explain how that slogan can be very misleading.
Don't believe everything you see or read, Bob. 'Tis the season for advertisements that feature products to warm your insides. One in particular featured this month in Good Housekeeping is this one, but there is an interesting story behind the ads. The Attorney General of the state of New York has successfully challenged what he calls Campbell's Soup's deceptive advertising claims, because the Attorney General says a single serving of Campbell's regular line of soups can contain more salt than an adult should take in an entire day. So much for being good food. Salt can be a problem if you're one of the 60 million Americans suffering from high blood pressure, and that's 1 out of every 3 of us. So you will no longer see Campbell advertising that their soup provides health insurance, as they once did. And in New York State only, the company has agreed to include a line plugging their assortment of low-sodium soups. Now, the company has also agreed to pay the New York Attorney General's office $25,000 in costs. But as I said, most of this settlement will change the advertising in New York State only. So the rest of us should take these advertising slogans with a grain of salt, or better yet, salt substitute.
Another report in good taste. It appears tonight that Pensacola City employees won't get a Christmas bonus this year. Many workers were present at a city council meeting hoping to get the 5% bonus that was granted in 3 of the last 4 years. However, the council voted to complete a review of city salaries instead. The action leaves just 1 more council meeting between now and Christmas to reconsider the bonus. We've been telling you about the Navy's search for a home port for its battleship group. Yesterday, the search team visited Freeport, Texas. Plans are underway to deepen the Freeport Channel, a necessity for the Navy's big ships. The tour included a look at the proposed site in Freeport Harbor and of available housing in the area. The next stop for the search team is the Houston-Galveston area. Bill Evans is up next with a look at the weekend weather. He says it's going to get cooler. And although he's laid up in the hospital, Ron Golnick will fill us in on the local high school football action with some help from Eric Clemens. Stay with us. We had a little bit of rain come through the area this morning, and there may be more to come.
That's right. It looks like tomorrow's going to be a great day, but Sunday's not going to be such a great day. We're going to have some off and on rain showers on Sunday, but Saturday looks like a great day for that college football game you might be traveling to this weekend. Let's take a look from the satellite. Up 22,800 miles, and we'll see that partly cloudy skies are dominant in our area. The cold front passed through this afternoon, 2 o'clock through the Mobile area, 3:30 it passed through the Pensacola area. It's just east of there now, right over the Panama City area. It brought light rain showers and mostly cloudy skies for the most part into our area. High pressure is coming in behind that. It's pushing northerly winds over our area now. That'll cool our temperatures down tonight and warm us up very quickly. This high is moving very fast through the area, and a low-pressure system in Texas or in the plains in the southwest is moving faster behind that high-pressure system, and as this high-pressure system will warm us up later tomorrow, this low-pressure system will jump in there on Sunday and give us some rain showers possibly there. There's lots of cloudy skies over central Alabama, partly cloudy skies along the northwest Florida area in the Panhandle, and we're looking at not many rain showers at all. We'll take a look at the local satellite, the radar photo, and we'll see that warm air is coming in from the Gulf and right over Florida, colliding with the cool air that's along that cold front. And so there are some cloudy skies, but the temperatures behind the front are cool, not as cold as they could be in order to bring lots of heavy thunder showers, because the satellite radar photo will show that there are just some rain showers along the Atlantic coast right here, South Carolina, North Carolina, and some just off the Texas coast, right off the coast of Beaumont and Corpus Christi. None around our Gulf Coast area. Things are looking good as clear skies are moving in. There's snows in the northeast, in Pennsylvania, and also in New England tonight, expecting at least 6 more inches of snow there. Rain showers still along that weak frontal boundary all the way up the Carolina coast, and there's some rain in the Pacific coast tonight, right here from San Francisco all the way down to LA Bay Area. The high today in Mobile was a comfortable 66, 71 in Pensacola, the high for today. Low last night, 56 Mobile, 60 Pensacola. No rain today. We're 1.5 inches short in Mobile and in Pensacola on our rainfall level for the month. Currently at Mobile, we have clear skies, 58, partly cloudy Pensacola, 62. Humidities rising, or were rising until the front passed through. Now they're falling just a bit because of the northeast winds at 6 in Mobile and the north winds at 10 in Pensacola, while the barometer has been rising because of the high pressure that has been filling the area. Here's my forecast weather map for Saturday. High pressure is going to dominate our weather. It'll be moving out to the Atlantic coast tomorrow, out off the Virginia and Carolina coast, pushing in south-southeast winds. Sunny weather for our area tomorrow. That low pressure system will be passing into Texas, creating snow in the northern Mississippi Valley to the Central Plains, rain showers from there all the way down to southern Texas. That will be sliding our way, and by Sunday we'll get here and give us some rain showers then. It'll be cool but sunny in the northeast. Snow continues to the central Rockies, cool in the great northwest and sunny there, and there'll be rain showers and cloudy skies along the Pacific coast for tomorrow. Evans Index scale of 1 to 10 for the weekend. It's a 6 for Sunday, a 10 for tomorrow. That averages for an 8 weekend. Great sunny weather tomorrow, cloudy on Sunday. We'll take a look now at the high temperatures for tomorrow. 70s for our Gulf Coast, 60s over the area as well, so temperatures will remain mild during the day tomorrow. Boating forecast, small craft advisory in effect. High winds from the east at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be from 2 to 4 feet with a rough surface. High tide is at 4:51 in the morning. Low tide 4:32 tomorrow evening. Water temperature 62. My forecast for the Gulf Coast, clear and cool tonight, low of 48. Sunny and cool in the morning, temperature 52. Sunny and pleasant in the afternoon tomorrow with a high of 68. Fair and mild tomorrow night with a low of 56. Rain showers likely on Sunday, partly cloudy Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures mild, highs of 69 and lows of 49. Great fall weather. Weather picture tonight is from Judy Bond, right, from Mobile, Alabama. We did have a name on that picture, but we shot it so low because Judy put her name on there so big and the picture is so little, we thought we would show the whole thing. It's from Judy Bond from Mobile, and thanks for that drawing, Judy.
All right. Carver State Technical School is a little bit bigger tonight than it was last night. The trade school dedicated its new special services building today. It houses adult education classes and a testing center for students. The building was opened to meet the growing need for more space at the college. The 520-member student body outgrew the original building. Carver State teaches a variety of trades, including food preparation, welding, and masonry. Coming up in sports, Eric Clemens has a preview of a championship game to be played tomorrow. And when some blind students from Mobile toured the space shuttle, they never knew what honor the space agency was going to award their school. We'll have that story when we come back. Of course, Ron is still in the hospital, but I understand he wants to put mag wheels on his wheelchair, right?
And get in here as quickly as possible, especially tonight. Ron's, of course, out for a while, but from his hospital bed, he fills us in on the highlights we'll have in store for you tonight as the high school playoffs continue second-round action.
Eric, I'll tell you what, I'm bedridden. I wish I could be at many of the games tonight. I missed the good Fairhope BC Rain game last night, but I know you got it under control. I know that you're going to have cameramen over at Ladd Stadium for that Theodore Bobcat Baker Hornet game, and that's kind of a revenge match because Baker won the earlier meeting between those two teams. I look for Theodore to win later on tonight, and UMS plays Miller at UMS, and I'm going to go with the home team Bulldogs. That's in 4A action, and of course in 5A play we're going to be in Jackson, Alabama tonight to watch the Aggies take on the Atmore Blue Devils. That's in 5A action, and I look for Atmore to win that game. It'll be a high-scoring game. Jackson is averaging 1 more point a game. Then they're averaging 30.3 points per game, and Atmore is averaging 29.3. And before I go, I got to show you, this is from the entire Theodore Bobcat football team, a nice red and white flowers with the little footballs on it. Now I'm going to be watching you at 10 o'clock tonight for all the highlights.
Okay, Ron, do that. While some area high schools are a few games away from a state championship, one local high school will be competing for that title tomorrow night. IMS of Mobile will be challenging Cathedral Christian of Birmingham for the state championship in the Alabama Christian Athletic Conference. For the crown is a switch from last year. IMS was 3-6 last season, so this year the Crusaders are ready to end it with a title.
We've been real fired up this week. We're ready for them. We know they're going to be tough, and we know we got to play our best to beat them.
It's our last year to play football, and we're, you know, it'd be a once-in-a-lifetime thing if we can win a state championship.
An Orlando newspaper is reporting that Galen Hall will be made the permanent coach of the Florida Gators. Florida Athletic Director Bill Carr made that announcement at a Booster Club dinner last night. The news is not so good for Florida State. Running back Greg Allen, their leading rusher, will undergo arthroscopic knee surgery. He will miss the remainder of the season. In basketball, defending national champion Georgetown showed their stuff last night in an exhibition contest against Palmeiras, Brazil's national squad. Reggie Williams led the Hoyas with 12. He makes the nice move on the baseline and gets the hoop. Georgetown led it by 11 points at the half. Here's a favorite play of theirs, the alley-oop. Michael Jackson on the lob to Patrick Ewing for the jam. Ewing finished with 8 points. The Brazilians had a lob play of their own to pull them to within 6. Pablo Madonis gets the hoop, but they got no closer than that. This is David Wingate with the stuff right down the lane. Georgetown won it 67-47. And of course, we can't wait for tonight. We'll have all the high school football action for you ready to go tonight. Three big games.
And speaking of basketball, the 10 men are at work tonight in Chickasaw.
That's right. Let's hope they can get a victory without me.
They're going to have to try. Here are TV10 Job Line listings for this afternoon. The first opening is for a transmission mechanic. They're looking for an R&R mechanic with 1 year experience. The second job is for a secretary. You must be able to type 55 words a minute and be familiar with insurance claims. You must also be able to post accounts receivable and payable. If you're interested in these or other job line listings, call the TV10 Job Line at 342-WORK from 8 until noon, Monday through Friday. TV10 takes part in a pilot program in the school system that will now go county-wide. It's called Adopt a School, and today it linked the space program with a special school in our area. Renee Dials has more.
Each of those animals came along with one of the very same name.
Some of the students at the Regional School for the Deaf and Blind sang a song about Noah's Ark for their adopters. The performance displayed the same kind of spirit that captured the hearts of NASA officials last spring. The students were invited to visit the Shuttle Enterprise during its first stop in Mobile. The youngsters were allowed to see the spaceship the only way they could, with their hands and ears.
You come out of space, out of about 170 miles, and then you start slowly.
That's when the bond began. Today that bond was strengthened when NASA, the Bel Air Kiwanis Club, and the Forest Hills Lions Club adopted the regional school. The organizations will work with the school to develop programs, provide materials, and even teach some classes to help enhance the education of the students here.
I'm going to learn quite a bit myself. I already learned this, what that means. I already knew this.
Today's ceremony kicks off the Adopt a School program in Mobile County. School officials have already set a goal of having 12 schools adopted by businesses and organizations this year. Renee Dowles, News 10.
TV10 adopted Palmer Pillins Middle School last year. Coming up tonight at 10 on Nightcast, there's a new bar in town that wants to cut down on drunk driving. LeBaron Taylor will tell us about that. Area college students learn the basics of surviving in the wilderness. Carolyn Martin will have their story. And in case you're out tonight, the 10-men basketball team will be playing at the Chickasaw Civic Arena at 7:30 tonight. Stop by and see them. Also, we want to tell you that Ron Golnick really didn't break his legs when wrestlers came out and broke him. It really didn't happen that way. He just fell off a ladder. Bill Evans will have the weekend weather tonight at 10 o'clock, and Eric Clemens will have tonight's high school football playoff action. We'll see you at 10 o'clock.